How's it going, guys? Welcome into Rover Sports. Wanted to talk today about some important topics in the world of sports, and I'm going to check into my YouTube channel right now, and we're going to get this show started. There should even be a call-in number that I will try to get out to you guys. You guys can certainly call into the show if you really have some compelling things to talk about. NBA playoffs last night happened. The 76ers are absolutely dead, 1,000%. Joel Embiid is worth absolutely nothing. And I'll tell you what, Joel Embiid has to be traded, and I hope that this show is live. I'm going to be checking in here to my channel and seeing exactly what the hell is going on. We have 6 people watching the show. I'm going to go into my creator studio, and I'm going to change the cover, and I'm going to change exactly what this show is titled. So everybody out there, please continue to watch, or I hope you continue to watch, and then I'm going to get into some arguments that you guys are going to really like. I think some real hot take sort of shit that you can come back on me in years and years and years. Pigskin Pete, you're the best. I saw Dabo Swinney yesterday. He was at the Toronto game. The 76ers are dead. Joel Embiid is the next Jahlil Okafor. Joel Embiid is actually the next Greg Oden. He's absolutely terrible. The Sixers should trade Joel Embiid for Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley. I would do that trade in a heartbeat because that guy is going downhill. Brett Brown is a shitty basketball coach, and Ben Simmons is going to be a superstar. Everybody's harsh on Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons dates a Kardashian, and because he doesn't say any words. Ben Simmons is going to be a superstar in this league. I'm telling you, he is going to be a superstar in this league. Bob Money, how you doing? I'll tell you this, too. Today's Hot Take Wednesday, Jimmy Garoppolo is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's better than Aaron Rodgers. He's better than Patrick Mahomes. The 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl next year. They're going to go 13-3. I'm telling you that. Niner by nature. I'm telling you that. I have Entertainer in here talking sports. He's excellent. Everybody go and follow him. Jimmy Garoppolo is the truth. He is the freaking truth. He has the quickest release in the NFL. He has the best coaches in the NFL. He has unbelievable receivers. He makes it all happen. I love Kyle Shanahan. I love John Lynch. This is a good football team. Now, their draft, they selected a punter in the 5th round, which was stupid. They also selected Jalen Hurd 2 rounds too early. They need better safeties. I don't like Colbert at all, and I don't like that other safety that they have. But listen, Jaworski Tart has to stay healthy, but I like this team a hell of a lot. And people are always going to hate on the Niners because the Niners have a polarizing fan base. That's the honest to gosh truth. So I already aired out my grievances on Joel Embiid today. I already talked about Embiid, how Embiid is the most overrated player in all of basketball. I've said that, right? I've said that Joel Embiid is absolutely trash and how he's the next Greg Oden in waiting. He's the most overrated player. How about this one? How about Odell Beckham Jr. yesterday? How about Odell Beckham Jr. going to the Met Gala, wearing shorts to the gala like Saquon Barkley? Both of those guys, wearing crazy outfits. They're wearing like a sleeveless muscle tee and shorts to the Met Gala, but that's besides the point. I don't really give a shit about the Met Gala at all. The more interesting statement was that Odell Beckham said that Baker Mayfield is already going to Canton, and he said the Cleveland Browns are going to win multiple Super Bowls, and they haven't even gone the 1 day of training camp yet. That's putting a huge target on your back. It's exactly why Dave Gettleman decided to move on from you, because you put unwilling expectations. I'm telling you, because because you put expectations that cannot be met on your franchise, and that's what Cleveland Browns fans have to look forward to. They are now the villains of the NFL. This is exactly like LeBron James going to Miami and saying, we're not going to win one, we're not going to win two, we're not going to win 3, 4, 5 championships. You haven't done anything. Let your play speak for itself. That's the most unpatriot thing to do in the world. The Patriots don't talk at all. They perform. And in fact, Bill Belichick would never have a guy like Odell Beckham. When's the last time you've heard of an outspoken Patriot? The answer is never. The answer is never. That's the truth. That's the truth. You've never heard of an outspoken Patriot, and Odell Beckham is already going against the Patriot mold, and Cleveland, they're in for a rude awakening, and I'm hoping it happens because they're the cockiest team in the NFL. They're so cocky. I hope that they absolutely get mauled by Pittsburgh. I hope that happens, and I also believe in my aspirations to a degree. Great group of people in here. We got 14 people in here. I will give out a phone number. I will be on live till about 6:30 tonight. I gave out my AFC and NFC predictions. I'm now going to read you the best quarterbacks for the next 15 years. I tweeted this out earlier. You guys can follow me at ROVERSports on Twitter.com. And I gave you my top 15 quarterbacks for the next 10 years. I'm going to read that to you guys now after a note from my sponsor, MyBookie. MyBetBookie is a bookie site that has a promo code ROVER, and if you use that promo code, nothing's going to happen because that MyBookie doesn't exist yet. But that's the kind of radio transition that you have to use. So anyway, here is the top 15 quarterbacks, my top 15 quarterbacks for the next 5 years, and they are as follows. Surprise, I don't have Sam Darnold on this list. I have Tua Tagovailoa on this list. I have Patrick Mahomes, so Tua's number one. Tua's the number one guy. He's going to take the league by storm. He's going to be one of the best quarterbacks ever. Patrick Mahomes is unbelievably talented, going to be one of the best quarterbacks ever. Kyler Murray, one of the best quarterbacks ever. He's at number 3. Jimmy Garoppolo rounds it out at number 4. Drew Lock at number 5. I think Lock in Denver is going to have so much success. He's going to be fantastic. Then I have Aaron Rodgers. At the twilight of his career, I have Aaron Rodgers. I then have Trevor Lawrence. I have Trubisky and Carson Wentz. I have Eli Manning and Daniel Jones. I should have put Prescott somewhere on this list because Prescott is capable of winning a Super Bowl. I would love to have Dak Prescott as my quarterback if I wanted to win a Super Bowl. I also have Jordan Love and Justin Herbert on this list, and I have Kirk Cousins and Andrew Luck and Deshaun Watson. So those are the guys that I think are really, really good. Garrett, how are you, my brother? How's it going? Garrett Smallvall Sanders. Follow him for everything Vols. Scott Thomas, my friend from Arizona. I need to get out to Arizona with you, man. Need to save up some money somehow. And my friend Poppy Goat, of course. And Chris Senor. Bears do think outside the box. Bears do think outside the box. So those are my top 15 quarterbacks once again. Tua Tagovailoa, I love Tua. You know, everybody's jumping on Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence had a better football team. He had a better offensive coach, a better offensive staff. He has Justin Ross and T. Higgins. He had all the help in the world, and Tua Tagovailoa put Alabama on his back. Tua Tagovailoa almost won the Heisman Trophy. He has the quickest release. He has natural feel in the pocket. He is going to be a great quarterback at the next level. So, other notes that I wanted to get to today for today's show. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was flat out unbelievable in rookie training camp, okay? He was perfect with the media. You know, the thing that I liked about Daniel Jones was that Darius Slayton, this guy that we just drafted out of Auburn, he had a really rough day. He was dropping footballs left and right. And Daniel Jones was asked about Darius Slayton, and he said, and the media asked him, what do you say about Daniel Slayton's poor performance in dropping passes? And you know what Jones could have said? He could have said, yeah, Darius had a really rough day. He could have said, Darius had a really, really rough day. And you know what he said? He said this. He said, everybody has their drops. Everybody has problems. We are all learning together. We are in this thing together. And listen, me and Darius, we're getting it worked out right now. Everything is going really, really good. Everything's going to be better. And I'm sticking up for my guy. That's basically what Daniel Jones said, is that, listen, everybody's going to make mistakes. He was running great routes. We're going to get that ironed out. And Daniel Jones is a great, great teammate. And that's what you need in a quarterback. You need an elite-level teammate. Look at who was at the Kentucky Derby. Tom Brady was there, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett, Deion Branch, Danny Amendola, Cliff Kingsbury. All of Tom Brady's former teammates were at the Kentucky Derby. And that's what matters at the end of the day, is leadership and guys believing in you as the quarterback. And let's hope Daniel Jones can even take that to a level that Eli Manning cannot. Eli Manning, pretty good team, great teammate, really good teammate. His teammates wouldn't follow him. His teammates went to Miami. His teammates left him at home. Even Victor Cruz abandoned him. So it's all about being Gucci. It's all about being Gucci. That's exactly right. So far, the stream is actually working, which is great. We have 22 people in the live stream. If you guys have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask it. And in fact, I'm going to reinstall my Skype account. If I reinstall Skype, there might be an opportunity for me to actually answer a phone call. Because if I actually answered a phone call, it might even resonate more with the audience that is actually viewing this shit anyway. So if I actually talk to somebody on an actual telephone device, it actually might resonate with the people that are actually viewing this YouTube stream anyway. You know what I mean? Then I can have Ronaldo roast the shit out of me. I can have Jet fans roast me for Sam Darnold. I can have Joel Embiid people come in here and roast the shit out of me. The people that I hate the most, probably the most polarizing athletes that I don't like, are probably Odell Beckham Jr. He's probably number one. Odell fans absolutely hate me. They despise me. And then Sam Darnold people. Sam Darnold and Odell Beckham. Those are the two people. I think Jared Goff and the Rams people absolutely hate me. I'm a big 49ers fan. I've always doubted the LA Rams. The Jacksonville Jaguars people, I called out the Jags people a long time ago. I was the one guy saying, you know what, Blake Bortles is a fraud and your coach is a fraud. And just because you made the AFC Championship and just because you have a good defense, it doesn't mean you're going to repeat it, because Bortles sucks and Marrone sucks. And guess what? I was right. But on Davis Webb and the Rams and all these other things, I'm not going to have a perfect hitting percentage. No one has a perfect hitting percentage. Okay? Not even Wade Boggs hits all the time. Oh, man. Thank you so much for the donation, Chris. I really appreciate it. That's very nice of you. You're a great, great person. Great person. Unfortunately, I don't see Patrick Mahomes being an MVP again. You know, Tyreek Hill, you lost Tyreek Hill. Kareem Hunt is gone. Your defense is kind of in a weird transition mode. The whole league is going to catch on to you. You're a really great quarterback, Mahomes, but being back-to-back MVP, I don't even think that's happening. Denver is getting a lot better. I think the Broncos and the Chargers, there's a chance that the Chiefs might not even be in the playoffs, because you have to beat Denver, you have to beat the Chargers. You know what I mean? You have to beat Denver, you have to beat the Chargers. So, I'm trying to get this freaking Skype connected. It's not really working right now. I'm sorry. What's going on? Man, I got about 15 to 20 more minutes. I'm actually going in and I'm doing a Sixers show in a little bit. Jerry Tillery is a great football player. You're absolutely right about that. 1,000%. 1,000%. He's a good football player. And we're all Gucci. Little King, man, you think that Dave Gettleman's failed in the offseason. Dave Gettleman traded Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. is a problem. Odell Beckham Jr. is a problem. We got Dexter Lawrence, DeAndre Baker. We're going to have tons of cap space next year. We're doing things in the correct fashion in New York. Dave Gettleman's made that decision to trade Odell Beckham Jr., to trade Olivier Vernon. That's exactly what Bill Belichick would have done. I mean, Bill Belichick traded Darrelle Revis. He traded Randy Moss. Bill Belichick trades popular football players. He traded Wilfork. He traded Richard Seymour. He trades football players when their value is getting worse, and that's exactly what Dave Gettleman did. Dave Gettleman is taking a page out of the most successful franchise of all time, the New England Patriots, and he's taking a page out of that dynasty. So his plan is to surround himself with great football players that refuse to lose. And here's the thing: we have Daniel Jones now. That's our quarterback going forward. Is Daniel Jones? That's his plan. Is we're going to try to win this year, and if we don't, we're going to roll with Jones, and we're going to have so much money to spend in the offseason that if we don't make the playoffs this year, next year will be our year where we spend so much money on free agents. We're going to have so much money to spend on free agents, and we're going to be drafting well again. But we had to get that quarterback after Eli Manning. We couldn't just keep punting the quarterback situation because his plan is that Eli Manning isn't that good anymore. He's an old quarterback. So we have to get in a quarterback on its rookie deal. And if the Giants would have waited till 17 and Jones was selected, the Giants would have been screwed because then next year they would have had to select a rookie quarterback instead of using that pick now for defense. So it's pick your poison because now next year the Giants can now draft the best player available. Now maybe that player isn't as good as Josh Allen, but the point is, if you like a quarterback, if you love a quarterback, if you think Daniel Jones is going to win you a couple Super Bowls, you don't risk not getting that quarterback, okay? Because you can find a pass rusher in free agency. You can't find a quarterback in free agency. The NFC West is interesting. I think that Arizona's really good. So with Arizona and the Rams and the 49ers, it's a really good division. But I think that the AFC West is significantly harder. I think even the Raiders are a really good team. And then the NFC North is also really, really competitive. But the AFC West is a harder division, absolutely. And when you look at the NFC West, I do like Kyler Murray. I like Cliff Kingsbury. That defense just has to be good enough. But I believe that this league is going to have trouble adjusting to the differences of Cliff Kingsbury's offense. So I believe that the league is going to have a lot of trouble with Cliff Kingsbury to start off. I do. You guys calling me? Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. Why don't you guys try to call me? I think I can answer a call. This is too much. Too much bombardment here of the calls. But oh man, Ronaldo, you roasted the crap out of me. You just took me and slapped me around like a piñata last week on my own radio show with my own father. You know, my dad does a show with me. You know, he's a good friend, my dad. It's hard to find people to do content with you around the area. Just a lot of people into their own shit, you know what I'm saying? And my dad, he was appalled at how many Giants callers called in because he wanted to talk Sixers basketball. But really, people on YouTube, they want to talk football. They want to talk Sam Darnold. They want to talk Daniel Jones. They want to talk about Jets and Giants rivalry. That's what the YouTube is all about. And he was just completely taken aback because he wanted to talk Eagles and Phillies and Sixers basketball. And that did not happen last week for my dad. What cards? I'm not on House of Cards. House of Cards was an overrated show. It used to be a good show. Mara actually had a daughter, Kate Mara. She's pretty damn hot. She was in that show. But, yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you, Kevin Spacey as Frank Underwood was a cutthroat mother effer, man. He was tough. Can we call now? You try to call. Please try to call. Try to call. Oh, no. What's going on here? Ah. Yeah, you guys are calling. I'm getting a number. You're on with Rover Sports. Thanks for calling me.
Yo, what is up? It's Chris Senior here.
Chris, you made it through, man. You made it.
I don't know how, I don't know how. But,
You did it. You did it. You know what's annoying is I kind of want to turn off all of the current. I like on Skype. Sometimes you get other people calling in too. You have to wait till the call's over. But Senor, man, tell us about what's going on. You can ask any questions for Rover Sports. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, since you're in Philly and everything, I just want to get your take on. Well, actually, no. I'm just gonna say like my opinion because you're doing a 6-year show after this, I believe.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah, save it. Yeah, you can save it for later, but
and it won't be on YouTube. But sorry, go ahead.
I wouldn't. But what's it called? Yeah. My take on it, since I'm a Raptors fan, I'm really happy with it. It was it wasn't that much of a struggle for us in the second half. But I think the first half kind of scared me a little bit. But I think it was a really good performance by Gasol, Kawhi Leonard. He's unstoppable. Lowry he stepped up a little bit, but and then who else? I think Danny Green, and then
Danny Green was unbelievable last night, Chris. And I'll tell you this about the Toronto Raptors: your team was firing on all cylinders, and I was happy to see Marc Gasol shooting threes. Like I was really happy to see how aggressive Marc Gasol was yesterday. And that game 4, it unlocked everything because I think the Sixers mentally quit. And Kawhi Leonard should just stay in Toronto because you have Kyle Lowry. Nick Nurse is a really good basketball coach. That was a tremendous move getting rid of Dwayne Casey because everybody probably loved Dwayne Casey, but the fact is he couldn't. He was a choker in the playoffs, even though he won Coach of the Year. Dwayne Casey, to fire him and bring in Nick Nurse, that was a big balls, awesome decision that took a lot of risk, and that was a great decision.
Yeah, I mean Gasol, a lot of people were criticizing him at the end of the year, with his efforts and stuff like that. But I think he's kind of shown it now in the playoffs. And then now it's the opposite way with Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry was on the ball. He was a tremendous player during the regular season. He could when they rested Kawhi Leonard, he couldn't really take the reins and he could kind of control the game. But then I think in the playoffs, then you start seeing Kawhi, unwrap and stuff like that. You start seeing them, people passing the ball more to him. I think that's what really affected Kyle Lowry because he wasn't getting that much attention. And of course he got the flops, him falling down and stuff like that. That's just that's kind of messed up.
Who Kawhi or who?
No, Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry. Well, that's just part of his game. And I wanted to ask you, which Sixer do you despise the most? Do you despise Embiid? Do you think Embiid's cocky? And which Sixer do you really not like?
I think Embiid. I think Embiid is one of them. A lot of people are surprised that because I know a lot of Raptors fans, and they're surprised that I didn't go for Butler. Because Butler also he's been a thorn in our backside the whole entire season.
Right.
He's been really good, especially because he's been playing. I think he's been playing in the what's it called, in the East for a very long time. His time with the Chicago, and then I think it was the Timberwolves. He went. I don't know. I've been following for a long time, ever since because I also followed the Bulls too a little bit.
The Timberwolves,
No, not the Timberwolves, the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, the Chicago Bulls, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of follow them a little bit. They're kind of like a side team. Like whenever Toronto isn't playing, they I watch them. I really like them because of their history. They have a really rich history.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Butler was really good, and I think a lot of people criticize him. And I think in the playoffs he already showed that he could play. But I think, back to the question, I think it's definitely Embiid. Embiid is really cocky, especially I think Game 3 when he was he was talking smack to Gasol. Gasol wouldn't like approach him. He wouldn't like talk to him, and that's you know, you got to give a round of applause to Gasol. You know, Gasol wasn't talking back while Embiid was just running his mouth, and then he got karma by you know, underperforming in this game and last game.
And the airplane dance, that you got that Drake was doing and everything. Was really hysterical. But I like Toronto's culture a lot. Like I like your team a lot because you have Ibaka, Siakam. You have a lot of guys that are kind of quiet personalities, but they you know, like Kyle Lowry, just guys that play really hard, and these aren't like bona fide stars that you're going to talk about all the time. And really in this series, like going to Game 4, Kawhi Leonard took it over. And for the Sixers, they do have a lot of problems. Like Ben Simmons. Yeah. Ben Simmons just never shoot. Yeah, he's never learned how to shoot. And I think it's also a Brett Brown problem that Ben Simmons was never taught, was never instructed to shoot. You know, you have to try and you have to fail in life. So, you know, with the 76ers, I can ask you this question. Would you trade Embiid or would you trade Ben Simmons?
It's depending on who you get. I mean, if you're talking about AD or a Kyrie or a Kevin Durant, most definitely I would be going. You know, Ben Simmons. You know, Ben Simmons can stay for a year because I really want to see what he has. Like if I'm a coach, I really want to see if Ben Simmons can do it or not. Yeah. And then if Anthony Davis, you know, if he's possibly in the market by next year, most likely I'll go for him. Other players, you know, there's a whole bunch of players in the market.
I would trade Embiid because I think Embiid's going to be Greg Oden. I don't even think Embiid's going to be playing in 3 years. He's just going to be hurt. He's going to be sick. He's going to gain another 40 pounds of weight. I mean, at Kansas, Embiid was really thin. And Ben Simmons, I'm not going to say he's going to be the Greek freak, but Ben Simmons, when he's going to be able he could be like a Devin Booker. Like if you open up the lane for Ben Simmons, he is going to be special and he can learn how to shoot. And Embiid's just a nothing. And you're paying him all this money. I would trade Embiid right now for Buddy Hield. I would trade him in the Kings for Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley. And I also, by trading Embiid, you also get cap space for Willie Cauley-Stein. And Willie Cauley-Stein is going to be fantastic if you get Willie Cauley-Stein.
The thing with Joel Embiid, I think is a lot of people look at him because of what he's done in a couple of games, not in a whole season, in a couple of games. It's to me, in my opinion, he's inconsistent. You know, some games he's on, some games, you know, terrific, and then the other games he's like, you know, I want to do it, you know.
Exactly right.
I think he's gonna hit the market in at least a year. Maybe even the next season. You know, he might be on a new team. He might be wearing new colors or something like that. But I would definitely let Ben Simmons stay, and I'll let Embiid go, and then kind of try to grow the team around Jimmy Butler. Probably one of the best.
Jimmy or Tobias. Jimmy or Tobias. Hey, Chris, I only have about 20 more minutes, man. I have so much fun talking to you. Thanks for being our first caller tonight, man. And I'll see you in the chat. Thanks again, man. I enjoyed the talk.
Right.
Go Raptors. Enjoy the Raptors. Yeah. Enjoy the Raptors. So Chris Senor living life right now. He's a Chargers and a Raptors fan. He has a pretty good sporting existence right now. We have a couple of minutes here. Let's have a little bit of fun getting a call, and I'm just going to answer the call. Hello, you are on with Rover Sports.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
What's your name, and what do you want to talk about?
Justin and the Giants.
All right, let's do it, Justin.
These sad Giants. Where do I start? But I'm just going to take credit for the Teddy Bridgewater trade idea that started in 2018. I started that, and it should have freaking happened. But no, let's keep Eli Manning, who's washed up and can't throw a ball competently over 40 yards. Great.
So you started, but Bridgewater lost to a third-string quarterback on the Carolina Panthers in his last game. Teddy Bridgewater is an injury-prone quarterback. He's never won a playoff game in his life. I mean, what made you so sold on Teddy Bridgewater?
He carried, what the fuck, I'm drawing a blank now. What game was that he carried the team when he was injured?
The Vikings?
When he was in college.
Oh, the Louisville Cardinals. Louisville.
Yeah, he literally carried that team when he was hurt. I was like, I want him as a Giant. If he's doing that, Eli, screw off. I saw that and was like, Eli, piss off. This isn't 2012 anymore. Golf.
I don't think that Teddy Bridgewater is all that good of a quarterback. I mean, why isn't he starting then right now?
I wonder. He might be on the Saints and right in front of Drew Brees.
Right,
if he was on the Giants,
shouldn't other teams be trading like a third rounder for Teddy Bridgewater? I mean, and also now the Giants have Daniel Jones, so now the Giants have a rookie quarterback who is younger and healthier than Teddy Bridgewater. So I mean, if you would have traded Eli Manning, your plan is to start Teddy, and do you want Teddy to be a franchise quarterback? I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to get this point.
I'm doing it on a 2-year basis because I do not want Eli Manning anymore. John Mara needs to quit with this Eli Manning obsession. My God, it's getting annoying. It's like, Mara, will you quit? But I would literally do the Bridgewater on a 2-year. I would have signed him on a 2-year deal. It's like, okay, Bridgewater, we're giving you 2018 and 19. If you ain't doing it, I'm doing the kid from Clemson.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I mean, Eli was up and down last year. I don't think he's as bad as you're making it seem. I would take Eli over Teddy Bridgewater, but I'm glad that the Giants have Daniel Jones in place. And
I'm still irritated that the Giants passed on Josh Allen. I was really in my room, cocky as hell, that we're going to take Josh Allen. I was like, hey, this thing is a pass rush. We discovered it finally. I was like, oh, yeah, pass rush. And then, what the 6th pick, Daniel Jones? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, what is this, basketball? What?
Yeah. Josh Allen would have been very good, but the Giants, when you're Dave Gettleman, you can't wait around for 2 years for Trevor Lawrence because you have to have a job. You have to get your quarterback of the future. So
you could have got, if you didn't want Bridgewater and you would have stunk it with Eli. You would have stuck it and stunk it with Eli.
Why don't you could have traded for Flacco then. According to you could have traded for Flacco, but I like this route of getting the rookie and letting Eli groom Flacco. Because Eli's won 2 championships. Eli's won 2 Super Bowls.
What year were those?
But Eli in 2015, 2016, and now Eli has an offensive line. His arm strength is still average in the NFL. I mean, so you're talking about Teddy Bridgewater changing the franchise. I don't think Bridgewater is bringing you championships.
No, it wouldn't have changed
Joe Flacco is better than Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, that is not true at all.
Yes. Well, we'll see. I mean, unfortunately, we will never know because your quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, is never going to get to play in any meaningful football games again. And I'm frustrated for your sake because you seem to love Teddy, and it would be fun to see Teddy play again, but this kid might never get a chance to play again until Drew Brees retires.
Yeah, that's why I would have traded for him. And had Eli sit the bench. It's like, Eli, thank you for the 2 Super Bowls, but it's time for you to get into a mentor role. Sit on the bench. We're going to play Bridgewater. You're going to teach him. You sit the bench. You teach Teddy.
I mean, I like the call. I like the call. I mean, Bridgewater had a couple of good seasons. I like the call, but I'm just worried about the injuries too much. I prefer Jones, but hey, Justin, I really want to thank you for the call, man. This was a really good. This was a fun time.
And wait,
thank you so much. You're the man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate you tuning in, bro.
Imagine this offense. Imagine if we had an offense of Bridgewater, Beckham, and Barkley. That would have won some games.
Maybe so. All right, Justin. Thanks so much, bro.
All right.
Thanks.
Go Giants.
All right. I like that call a lot. I mean, Odell Beckham, he talks too much for my liking. I'm not the biggest Bridgewater fan. He lost to Kyle Allen, for goodness sake. He lost to Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen laughed him off the field in Week 17. Bridgewater, decent arm strength, but again, gets hurt a lot. And we have Daniel Jones now. Daniel Jones is younger than Bridgewater and a ton cheaper than Teddy Bridgewater. I'm getting a call right now. Hello and welcome in the Rover Sports. Hello? You're on with Rover. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, how you doing there?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Robert?
I'm doing well. Doing well. What's your name? And if you could tell me your name and what do you want to talk about today?
Well, from your chat, I am RK Belmont. I have been in your chat for some time now.
Oh, RK, what up, man? What up, RK?
Yeah, I have been trying to talk before, but I was never able to catch up to your channel. So I want to talk about the NFC West because this is the division where my favorite team plays.
Absolutely, and that would be the 49ers. Am I correct, RK?
Of course you are. So yeah, I'm a Niners fan, and I know you're kind of a Niners fan somehow. I found your channel with a freaking CJ Beathard film preview or something like that. So,
oh, yep. I used to do Blaine. I used to do Cap. I used to do all of them. And the Niners Empire, millions, like thousands of people like yourself are fantastic. So, yeah, CJ Beathard was, I did that there.
Yeah, thank you for that content. It's amazing. But I want to address because I believe NFC West is going to be one of the most interesting divisions in football, and not only because of the Niners. I think the Arizona Cardinals are very underrated. I think Kyler Murray will have some success in his rookie season. I really don't like they didn't address the offensive line. I think it's still very weak. They have some receivers, but with that offensive line, they have to face Aaron Donald, DeForest Buckner, D4, Nick Bosa, and they have Lock that Frank Clark left Seattle. But holy shit, this NFC West pass rush is going to be all over this rookie. Well, overall, I think the Arizona Cardinals were victim from horrible coaching with the guy they just fired. This shouldn't be a 3-win team. I think they could win at least 7 or 8 games. They could have Patrick Peterson, Chandler Jones, Buda Baker. This team has a lot of talent. They have David Johnson and Larry Fitz. So I'm not going to sleep on the Arizona Cardinals by any means.
So you like Arizona and their offensive line? Do you like Kyler Murray? You think the Cardinals will be good?
I like Kyler Murray. I think he has the potential to be Russell Wilson out there. But if there's something that will hold them back, is their offensive line is still very weak. But right. I think they will be better than people think, because people is thinking they will go and win only one game or draft number 1 overall again. I don't think that will happen.
That's exactly right.
I think he's going to be sensational. Better.
They might even make the playoffs, better. Cliff Kingsbury, because it's going to be hard to stop this college offense that's just entering into the NFL right now.
I don't think they will go to the playoffs. They are in a very difficult division. They have to play. Their schedule is not easy. They have to play the AFC North. They have to play the NFC South, the Falcons, the Saints, and all these teams. But I think they definitely can go 8-8, and that would be a success. The way they managed their Josh Rosen situation wasn't very good. They didn't get a lot in return. But overall, I think this team will be fun to watch. I mean, and if we move over to the LA Rams, I think the LA Rams will have some like a setback. They are still a very talented team, of course. They are still the NFC defenders, but they have this issue with Todd Gurley, and I hope he doesn't finish like Jamal Charles or some of these stars that a knee problem kills their career. I hope it doesn't happen to Todd. But I think this year is going to be the most important in Jared Goff's career so far because Todd Gurley is injured. He lost 2 starters in the offensive line, and really, what I have saw from Jared Goff is that he has issues when he is under pressure.
Yeah.
And again, this NFC West pass rush is going to be ridiculous. So Jared Goff,
I think it's going to be crazy with D Ford now. D Ford. You also bring in who is the guy from Kansas City? Because I know Frank Clark got traded.
D Ford is the guy from Kansas City, but they drafted Nick Bosa. They have DeForest Buckner, Solomon Thomas, all these pass rushers.
Yes.
Arizona has Chandler Jones.
Yes.
I think Seattle has Jaron Reed or some good players. So
the pass rush is going to be great, but RK, you still have the 49ers winning the NFC West. Is that correct?
I hope so, but it's not going to be easy. For the 49ers, their biggest problem has been the injury bug. They have sent players to IR, including Jimmy G. They need to stay healthy. They overhauled the medical and strength conditioning staff. They noticed they had a problem there, so no more injuries, but they have Von Alexander coming back from an ACL, Jimmy G and Jerick McKinnon coming from ACL. So they need to get this team healthy. Their secondary has been a problem, but they hired Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator, or the defensive backs coach from Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the coach for Chris Harris and all these guys.
Right.
And I actually think that Joe Woods has a very good chance to actually take Robert Saleh.
I hope Saleh still stays because you asked Denver fans, they didn't love Joe Woods. But we will see, RK.
Yeah, we will see, but
we will see about RK. But listen, I want to thank you so much for the call. It's going to be an amazing NFC West. I agree with you about Kyler Murray's point. The pass rushers, though, Justin Pugh on that offensive line out in Arizona. I appreciate your expertise, and thanks so much for calling in, man. I appreciate it. I just have to get to a couple of our calls, so I'll see you in the chat.
Thank you, Robert.
No doubt. Sorry to cut you off abruptly, but that was RK Belmont. He's a great follow on YouTube. You can see him everywhere. Yes, hello, and welcome into Rover Sports.
What up, Rover? It's One Giant Rebuttal.
OGR, what's going on, my man?
Not too much. What's going on with you? Obviously, you're doing your call-in show, so I appreciate it. But
yes.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
As far as the Giants' depth chart at quarterback, obviously Eli Manning and Daniel Jones will be 1, 2, or whatever. Who are they going to keep after that? Because now you have Eric Dungy, Kyle Lauletta, and who am I thinking of? Who am I missing? Alex Tanney.
Alex Tanney, yeah.
So at the depth chart, after they go through the whole preseason, let's say Eric Dungy, impresses. And let's say he gets the Taysom Hill role, for this Giants offense. Are we going to just go into the season with Eli Manning, Eric Dungy, and
Jones
and Daniel Jones, or are we keeping 4 quarterbacks?
It's a great question. I would look then to, Lauletta, maybe you could trade him for like a 6th rounder or something. You might have to waive Lauletta if he doesn't improve in the preseason. The one thing is that Alex Tanney provides veteran leadership. So, if Eli were to go down, you might even put Alex Tanney in there before you're going to put before you're going to put in the quarterback Daniel Jones. I look at Dungy, and he wasn't a great thrower at Syracuse at all. I mean, he's a great kid, but he's not a tremendous thrower, and maybe the Giants look at him as like a special teams kind of a guy. I mean, playing the Taysom Hill role, that would be pretty crazy to have Eli Manning and then have another quarterback on the field. I don't really think that many quarterbacks, because Eric Dungy, I don't think he's really a powerful runner like a Tim Tebow or even a Nick Fitzgerald was at Mississippi State. So if Dungy's going to make the team, he might just be a special teams gunner. I would go Tanny and Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling that was going to be too. Because to be honest with you, I mean, my early thing is obviously they brought Eric Dungy in, an undrafted free agent. They'll give him a shot, see how he pans out. They have him listed as quarterback and tight end, so maybe they're gonna try something there. And then they'll probably end up cutting him, and then I think they're actually going to end up cutting Kyle Letta. I don't even think you're going to trade him because I don't think many teams are going to be interested in him.
Yeah, I mean, and people are commenting here in the chat, and I really miss Davis Webb as well. I miss Webb. I don't know if you miss Webb at all, but I thought Davis Webb was the heir apparent to Eli for all these years, and he never really got the opportunity. But I was a big Davis Webb guy.
Well, I mean, he hasn't even gotten the opportunity with the Jets. I mean, when Sam Darnold went down, you had the opportunity to see what you had in Davis Webb, and they didn't do it. So,
that was extremely disappointing because McCown was old and McCown sucked anyway. So, I mean, that was just brutal, man. That was absolutely brutal.
And wasn't Hackenberg still there at that time, or had they cut him yet? I don't remember.
He was long gone, I think, at that time. Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just said like Hackenberg. Yeah, of course he was brutally bad, but I think it was Hack and Bryce Petty, and Bryce Petty never really got that opportunity either.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see Davis Webb get a shot somewhere. I just for whatever reason, when he came in, he was just very inaccurate when he stepped in last year, and it was, I mean, that Detroit game was pretty brutal. Or was it the game before that? One of those.
The Browns game. The Browns game was terrible. I mean, in the Detroit game, he drove him up and down the field a couple of times, and then in the Jet game, he got in for maybe a couple of series. It's hard to get your rhythm in preseason. It's very hard. I mean, in the Cleveland game, he was absolutely abysmal, sailing the football and everything. But it's just sad. You know what's just really sad? One Giants rebuttal. It's sad that we don't get to see Daniel Jones. We don't get to see Davis Webb in action in training camp, because if it rains, we're screwed. If it rains, we never get to see training camp, and it's not televised at all. We don't get to see every rep, and we're in the dark on everything. We're in the dark on everything as fans.
Oh yeah, especially somebody like Davis Webb, where they're he's going to be working out with the third at best.
Yes.
So
yes.
I mean, but obviously at this point the writing's on the wall for Eli. So I'm not saying Eli won't start the season. I fully expect him to. It's just that, Daniel Jones is definitely going to get time with the ones. There's no doubt in my mind, because I think they're going to do very similar to what was asked of Kurt Warner, because everybody's overlooking the fact that Gettleman brought Eli into his office at the end of the season last year and sat him down, and it was probably like, listen, we're going to draft a young quarterback at some point here, and I need you in that mentor role, kind of like Kurt Warner was for you. And that's the way it is. I'll let you live out your contract, and that was it. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I know that Dave Gettleman told Eli that he could still start, and the interesting thing is, like Mike Francesa said that Eli, canceled his radio show because he might not be starting, and I do agree that the Giants are going to have to be red hot, for Eli Manning to retain his starting quarterback job, because if they go I still believe Eli can play the whole season. I think this is a playoff team this year. I don't know what you think about the first 10 games of the season, but I think it's still a playoff team.
Here's the thing. The Giants are a total wild card, but they need a lot of things to come together, okay? Because you're going to need O'Shane and Lorenzo Carter both to step up on that defensive line to get pressure at the quarterback position, especially later in games. And yes, do I think Eli can win you games? Absolutely. Do I think Eli could make you go 9-7 and 10-9-7 or 10-6 with the right personnel around him? Absolutely. The thing is, I don't think that personnel's there. Despite having Saquon, Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, there's still questions on the offensive line. You're still looking at right tackle. Like, there's a lot of questions on this team that need to come together, and that's always the biggest thing when you're looking at any young team is, are they going to gel quick enough within that 4 or 5 weeks, keep you competitive so you can make that playoff push later down the road? That's always the question with any team.
No, you're right, and I mean the pieces that the Giants have, like on the offensive side, I like the pieces that the Giants have, and it's going to come down to if B.J. Hill. It's really going to come down to if Dexter Lawrence can stop the run. I mean, we're going to play Ezekiel Elliott. We got to allow nothing on the ground, and then our cornerbacks are going to be pretty damn good too. So I guess it's all about generating pressure on the quarterback. It's about the linebackers. The linebackers are weak on this team. And but the good news is it's a more complete team than last year. We're going to be in a lot of games, and the schedule, the game at Tampa Bay is somewhat difficult. The game at Dallas, of course, is difficult. The Vikings and the Redskins, it's a fair schedule. And the Giants, they play Arizona and the New England Patriots in back-to-back weeks. So it's going to come down to them starting off early. But I'm really excited about this season. We have a lot of pressure on Eli Manning, and I love the direction of how we're going. I like this Daniel Jones signing. I'm excited about this damn season. I really am.
I really am. I'm more excited about this season coming up. Because more or less because of the unknown and seeing how everything will come together versus last year where we kind of knew where everything stood, and it just didn't seem like the excitement was there out of Giants Nation. And this year it is, despite everybody.
Oh yeah, that Eagles game was a problem in that Eagles game, and not having Odell Beckham, I really think is going to benefit our team. I think it's a game changer.
Oh, absolutely. I'm no fan of Odell Beckham.
I think it's a game changer, my man. And because after that Panthers game when the Giants played so damn well, that Eagles game was a disaster. That Eagles game was one of the worst games I've watched in my entire life, and that was brutal. Brutal to sit through.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get on to the next caller.
Oh, yeah. You're the best. You're the best, OGR. Thanks so much for calling in, man. I really appreciate you.
Not a problem. Anytime, buddy.
You're the best. All right, that's one giant rebuttal. You guys were awesome today. I have to say this right now. I have to go to an engagement at 7 o'clock somewhere. So you guys were a lot of fun. I want to thank RK Belmont. It was his first time calling in. He's a very knowledgeable football fan. You can catch him on he comments on a lot of different videos. He does great work on YouTube. So RK, big shout out to you. And then we had Justin. He called about Teddy Bridgewater. He provided a lot of interesting content for this channel because he said Eli Manning was washed up over the hill, and that's something I disagree with, and it's tough hearing that as an Eli fan, but it's great to have the callers come in, and then Chris Senor, of course, as well. We have Chucky Sharts. Chucky Sharts is out there in the he's out there in the comment section. My friend Cushman is in the crib, and Chris the Entertainer stopped by. A lot of people stopped by and made this stream a lot of fun. There were a lot of Daniel Jones fans in the stream, and it's great to see the Daniel Jones fans around. It really is. It's great to see Danny Jones fans. We also had, I'll tell you who else was here. Poppy Goat, of course, was in here earlier. Alex Sports. Alex Sports, he might be from Northern California, but Alex Sports, Mitch Gibson. I want to thank everybody here for coming on. Of course, Q-Dog 626 as well. A lot of great Giants fans, a lot of great people. With that, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to try to do midweek call-in shows more often and let you guys speak on football-related things. And guess what? If I have about 2 hours, we will get through a lot of callers. We will even take callers of Bills fans, of New York Jets fans, and everything in between. So until next time, guys, enjoy the NBA playoffs. Enjoy everything going on. I released a couple of videos out there today, and gonna go about 30 more minutes, but it's gonna be fun. I mean, I'm just excited to get to the I'm excited to get to training camp. I'm dying for it to arrive because I'm not doing too much in my own life until training camp happens. And I need the preseason film reviews to keep me floating and keep me and this channel going. I need the preseason to show up so that I'll have a lot of responsibilities. I cannot wait until the preseason starts. All righty. That's it, guys. Thanks so much. Peace, and have a great evening. Thank you.